All right, so it seems like we've been able to really have a great discussion about some of the things that we're worried about, as well as some of the things that are working well. And it seems like it's about time for us to start moving into brainstorming. So getting to some ideas now about what can be done. And it seems like the areas that we really want to focus on are really around Cheryl being able to keep the kids safe, and being able to address some of the things that we were most worried about in the incident that happened in her house. And so let's go ahead and think about some things that could either be services that could support Cheryl, where the kids can live, and also some actions that people can take that can help ensure the safety of the children and Cheryl's ability to care for them. While we're doing the brainstorming, we want to just get all of the ideas out there at first. So we're not going to reality test them or see which things can work or not work. We will get to that, but right now we just want to get all of the ideas up here on the board. So Cheryl, would you like to start and tell us what are some of your ideas about what could happen today or what you would like to see happen?
You know, I really want my girls back. I can't believe I almost hurt my babies. And so I feel like I'm scared, but I want them back. So, but I don't know. Other than that, I don't know how to make that work and keep them safe.
Thank you for that. So other ideas, what are some other thoughts about services and supports for Cheryl, actions that people can take to help make sure the kids stay safe, or just ideas about where the kids can live and where they should be? So what are some ideas?
Well, I support Cheryl's decision, or her idea of having the kids stay with her. I'm her neighbor. Live right next door, and so I can help Cheryl as needed if there's a safety plan in place. Sorry, this is it's really important for the kids to stay with her, I feel.
Sure. Are there some things that you're thinking of that you could help with? Is there anything that you would like to do or that we would like to put on this list of ideas?
Yes, I can check in on her and the kids. I could just help out. I can check in, like I said, and if there's a safety plan, maybe somebody from the department can think of a safety plan for her, and then I can support any way I can.
Great, thank you. Other ideas?
I'm definitely in support of Cheryl having her kids back, as long as there's a plan in place to support her. I'm also willing to continue to care for the children as long as necessary. They've been doing really well in my home, and they're comfortable here. And Cheryl and I have a good relationship. I mean, we've been good friends for a long time. So, if that's the plan that ends up happening, I'm definitely willing to continue to care for the children.
Great. And we're going to get back to some of those ideas or some of the reality testing in just a little bit here. So right now we're just kind of getting all the ideas up there. So we have these ideas right now. And so are there any additional ideas that we are going to want to consider when we get to our next steps?
So I just want to weigh in and say, I'm Cheryl's sister and I love her to pieces. And I'm so grateful that she has friends and neighbors that care about her as well. And I feel really strongly that the babies need to be with their mama. I know there's been some things that have gone on, but Cheryl loves those babies. And I really feel like the kids need to be with her.
So we do have that idea up there, and we'll talk about whether or not that can happen and if there are some things that can be put in place that would help us to do that. So any other ideas as far as, again, where the kids can live, any ideas for supports and services for Cheryl, and any other actions that folks would be able to take that would help us to know that the kids are safe?
Yeah. So I wanted to say that the department has been out to Trina's home and she's done an amazing job at taking care of the kids. So for right now, we think the kids should stay with Trina while Cheryl receives services and the former mental health service.
So it sounds like maybe you have the idea then of some mental health services for Cheryl. And then, like I said, we will go ahead and get back to talking about what plan we want to take a look at closer and see what we can support with some of these different ideas. But I will go ahead and add the mental health treatment for Cheryl on here.
Well, what about like my meds? Because I had to stop taking them because I lost my job. And so I need help with paying for meds and getting back on track, because that really helped me before.
Great. So it also sounds like some support for paying for your meds.
Yeah, that was why I had to stop taking them, because I lost my job.
Great. Okay.
So we will be referring Cheryl to the resource center, and they're going to be helping her to fill out the application for Medi-Cal.
So we will, again, when we get to our next steps and thinking about how we make some of these things happen, if those are things that we want to put in place to help make sure safety for the kids, we'll explore that a little bit more. So I appreciate that, Anna. And so right now we're just going to keep trying to add to our ideas and see what else we might be able to consider when we get to that step. So other ideas, other thoughts.
Yes, if I can just chime in. I know I'm her neighbor and the kids know me, and so I'm open for the kids to stay with me. I mean, they'll be close to Cheryl. So my home is open to them. That's
maybe Paula could come over and we could have an overnight visit with Paula's support so that we could try out an unsupervised visit.
Cheryl, that's not something that we're thinking of looking at right now. I think that it would be really important for you to get the services you need first and then have the visit.
So it sounds like the idea at this point then is for Cheryl or for Paula to maybe stay with Cheryl for visits. And it's sounding like that's another idea, is just setting up visits. Is that correct?
Yes, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to make sure that Cheryl has as much contact with the girls as possible.
Okay. So those are some ideas that we have. Other thoughts, other ideas about services or supports, actions people can take, or where the kids could be?
We're also going to be looking at as a department looking at Ben to see how appropriate he is for the group.
Okay.
I think all of this is Ben's fault, to tell you the truth.
I agree.
I just feel like I have to say that, and my sister knows that I love her, but I just feel like none of this probably would have happened if not for Ben. He's no good.
Sure.
And I'm glad that there are people close by, and I also just want you to know, and Cheryl to know, that if there's not another place for the babies, they can come here. But I'm 2 hours away, and that's farther away from Cheryl. But I'm here to support my sister, and so I just have to be honest and say what I feel about Ben in this situation, and that if there's nothing else nowhere else the babies can go, they can come here, but I am so far away.
Sure. So I've added a couple of ideas there, Sarah. We have that we'll assess Ben for services, just because that was an idea that was brought up. So we want to make sure that all of the ideas get put on our list so that we can consider all of them. I do hear your concerns, and we'll definitely make sure that all of those things are taken into consideration when we're figuring out the next steps. And I also heard as part of that too, that you had the idea that perhaps the kids could stay with you as well, that could be a possible option. So I went ahead and added that as one of our ideas. Okay. Other ideas, anything else?
Well, I have another idea. I know the concern came up about, of course, the girls and the safety of Cheryl as well. What if they stay with Cheryl's mom? And then that way the mom could not only keep an eye out for Cheryl, but also the girls.
That would probably take a little bit longer because Cheryl's mom hasn't been assessed and her home hasn't been assessed yet.
So Anna, before we get into figuring out whether things could happen or not, or assessments and things like that, we just want to get all the ideas up there, and then we'll go ahead and try to just move through them to see which ones we need to take a closer look at and which ones might be possible. So, great. Other ideas, any other ideas? So it was sounding like, Anna, that when you were mentioning the mental health treatment for Cheryl, were you thinking about that with like some formal intervention by the department, or were you thinking about that in some other voluntary or neighborhood
No,
resource capacity?
we're looking at formal intervention. And Cheryl, this is not to take your kids away from you. The formal intervention is to keep the children safe, which that would mean that we would file a petition so that the kids formally come into under the care of the department.
Just so that we're being pretty thorough, because again, we're not making any decisions or saying which things we want to do or not do right now. So that's just an idea, is that there could be some child welfare intervention with filing a petition. It seems like another option would be child welfare intervention voluntarily, and then just simply dismissing the case. So those are all options that could be considered. Is that right, Anna?
Yes, definitely. I see that Cheryl has a lot of support.
Okay.
I like the voluntary idea.
All right. Anything else that anyone wanted to add? Is there any other ideas that we need to consider today? No? All right. Well, it seems like we are perhaps ready to go ahead and move in.